Okay. I believe we are live now. Wing. Okay, to avoid typing errors on FO. Alright. Noted. Alright. Sorry, we're getting FSI panel up and running. Right now we're on the ground at Honolulu because we were trying to work out some audio issues off camera, and I have failed spectacularly. Where's FSI panel? There it is. Yeah, I have just straight up failed spectacularly. At trying to solve some of my issues, and yeah. Yo, came up. Yeah, I've just straight up failed at being able to solve any of my issues. Let me just try to get a few things in here in the FMC fuel short range as we're doing landing practice. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and start up all the engines now. Start up in position. Right, and we're gonna do some landing practice because in the triple, because we kind of need it. So, kind of need it. I don't think that's gonna work because the AP is not yet running. Don't think that's gonna work yet. Either way, right now we are currently on the ground at Honolulu, and we'll get the AP running in a moment. I'm just trying to get some engines started up. Yeah. Then we'll do some landing practice, including some crosswind landing practice. What is the current meters? Altimeter is 3004. 3004 on the altimeter. So, anyway, let's take a look here. Side panel landing practice, and the new headset will arrive Monday. So, where maybe we will actually have some working audio. So, because right now the VPilot audio gets to come through that, and kind of annoying because I can't control it in any good reasonable way. Just waiting for the APU to get online. Startup kind of in position, though I kind of feel like there should be buildings right here. I think there should be, in my opinion. There should be. Maybe if Seb were to tune in from his controlling duties. Seb is currently at Honolulu ground. At least was. Don't know if he's still there. No, he's not still there. Anyway, he and I were just trying to work out the issue, and we were unable to entirely. So, yeah. To be honest, I'm out of ideas. To be 100% honest, I have even gone to look to see if anyone else has had this like really weird issue, and I've been unable to. To this point in time, the best I can figure is that it's an issue with the best I can figure is that it's an issue with VPilot and USB audio. Because when I switch over here, it's completely fine. Though once again, I don't know. When's that APU gonna come online? When's that APU gonna come online? APU, can you please get on, please? Let's see here. You know, a little thing that says APU starting would help. Don't think about that for a view. Stand 3. Just waiting on that goddamn APU. Just wait. What are the winds at Honolulu right now? What are the winds? The winds are... Ooh, this is a good airport to start out at. The winds are currently 07, 0 degrees, 13 knots, gusting to 2 knots. Ooh, this will be fun. This will be a good airport to start out at. Honolulu is a good airport to start out at. Is that APU running yet? Let's see here. Is this gonna... Hey, Seb. Hey, Seb. So, I tried a bunch of stuff. In terms of, yeah. So I tried a bunch of stuff. I tried another headset, which I have on the floor right here. I tried a set of speakers. The speakers worked fine. The best I can figure out right now is that it's some kind of issue with vPilot and USB audio. That is the best I can figure out for right now. Because it works fine in terms of the actual computer. Anyway, I just bought a really cheap $20 headset off Amazon that will that uses not USB audio. It's an actual audio jack with an actual separate audio input. So we will see if that works. Anyway, I'm gonna do some landing practice because I'm bored and because I don't really have that much else to do. And I could work on some videos, which I'm probably going to end up working on here soon anyway. But I'm going to be lazy for right now on that front because I hate video editing. And we're going to go ahead and do some landing practice, which we kind of need anyway. So, we're going to do some long finals, and we're actually going to start out at Honolulu because according to FSI Pannel, the winds currently are 070 degrees, 13 gusting to 2. So we're gonna try that out. Honolulu is probably actually a really good airport to start out at. Alright. Both engines are alive. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this for right now. Go to and add display capture, add existing display capture. Give y'all this view as well. This year's FSI panel. So, to right, we can start out that. Flaps 30. Go ahead and set that. Move aircraft set to maximum landing weight. The aircraft is setting itself up. getting flaps 30 going. Yeah, it's actually compatible with the 777-200ER. We're gonna go in for runway 22 right first, which hopefully is not that bad. I would agree. Ooh. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's try to make sure we don't crash. We go. Alright, let's try a different runway because let's try 08 right, which actually is that's a good headwind. You're right, not 22 because apparently 22 is a stupid idea. Hey, are you okay? You're tangled. Get out there. Bed. Go lay down. Hang on. Buddy might need some help. Here. Get down. Go lay down. Bed. Bed. Go lay down. Bed. You're not in trouble. Go lay down. Bed. Bed now. Come on. Or stay. You stubborn dog. Alright, let's see here. This is a long final. Is approach mode on? And did it set up the localizer correctly? Might not have set up the localizer correctly. Navrad. It did not. It did not set up the localizer correctly. Let me just open up Navigraph on my phone real quickly, so I can get that localizer in. Or maybe I can tell it to reset itself up. Flights or airports. Honolulu approach. ILS runway 08 right. Oh, it's is it an RNAV only? Yeah. Is 08 right an RNAV only? Anyway, this will help us out with a visual. Alright, let's try this out. Let's try to go visual, because we don't have the RNAV set up. We do not have the RNAV set up. There we go. Is RNAV for runway 08 right. Damn, this headwind is insane. Or at least it feels that way. Still saying we're a little high. So 08 right. Could have probably done an airport briefing before this. I see the runway. Runway is in sight. We're going to try not to float it. Assuming that is the runway. Yeah, it appears that way. It does certainly appear that way. Still a little on the high side. And does not appear that we are that properly aligned. It is just us and the runway and the pappies for right now. It is us, the runway, and the pappies.
1,000.
So we are completely visual right now because we don't have anything. Alright, we're looking a little low, which I can generally agree with. Begin to level off. Like I've said a few times now, it's just us, the runway. No localizer, no glide slope. Just us, the pappies, and the runway. You're looking a little off. Yeah, I know there's no auto land, you dumb piece of shit.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Alright, there we go. See how that went? Alright, see how that went? Alright, how did that go? Full landing report. Alright. Just within limit, center deviation from center line. On center line. Touchdown rate of descent. 208 feet per minute, that's about quite good. Bank a touchdown, satisfactory. Pitch touchdown, not bad. Maximum rate of descent, 1,056 at 156 feet. We were above the glide slope basically the entire time there. But of course that we were all visual there, so I'm not actually that disappointed. Speed of touchdown, 142, not bad. Threshold crossing height, 82 feet. That could use a little work. Alright. We're going to try that again, but on short final. For 08 right, which, because I don't think this thing's going to set up the RNAV correctly. It'll be just us and the runway. And because the pappies don't appear to be working correctly, it'll quite literally just be us and the runway, and that'll be it. There'll be no other visual guidance system at all. So let's see here, because 08 right does not actually appear to have any form of 08 right does not appear to have any form of ILS, at least not according to the maps. If Sebspec and B can tell us for certain. If 08 right has any form of ILS, but I didn't see anything. Alright, and it actually set up the auto brake correctly this time. Auto brake 2. my controls. Or sorry, my plane now. My controls. I didn't like that. I did not like that. Might do a bit of a manual throttle landing if we need to. Oh, what is this?
1,000.
This approach doesn't feel that stable, to be honest. Then again, we'll see how bad the report is. We are way too high, though. Let's try to correct for it. Just back down, you bigot. Still feeling way, way, way too high.
500. 400.
The nice thing about the triple is that you can kind of land it like a Cessna.
300.
Though I didn't say that.
Sink rate. Sink rate. 100. Sink rate. 40, 30, 20, 10.
Ah, that felt hard. That felt firm. That felt firm. That felt very, very firm right there. Yeah, I don't know what caused those like weird things right there. I mean, it kind of was a little annoying. All right. Let's try something with the localizer. Let's try 08 left then. And we can go short final for ILS 08 left. Nice. Nice. We're doing a little landing. We are doing a bit of a landing practice. Welcome aboard, retired BC 503. We are doing a little bit of landing practice right now. We're trying Honolulu because the winds are actually pretty intense right now. 0703 is 13 gusting 22. So we are trying Honolulu first. Not to mention that Seb and I are trying to figure out some audio issues. So we were on at Honolulu about 20 minutes ago. Trying to figure out some vPilot audio issues, and I'm resorting to buying a new headset for a software issue. And no, I'm not joking about that. So, anyway, we are going to try this out. Yeah, I tend to agree with the glide slope warning. 2, 3. Did it ever activate approach mode? Approach mode activated. Once glide slope established, we'll take this over manually. Shut up. Why is that all off? It does not appear to be right. Dublin had 34 gusts 48 earlier. Ouch. This is 08 right. Right. Correct. At least I hope so. 500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100 The glad slope says, or the localizer says all the way over. Yeah, I don't think that's true. Either way, time for the visual, and I'm actually try to use this shredder for once.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Sink rate. Sink rate.
This is looking a mess.
Glide slope. Glide
This is
slope.
looking a mess.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
This is a
Glide
mess.
slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Sink rate.
Yeah.
Sink rate.
So, you know it's a good landing when all the warnings are going
Glide
off.
slope. Glide slope.
All right.
Glide slope.
That is a
Glide
scenery
slope.
issue.
Glide slope. 20. 10.
Not a bad touchdown, but completely all over the place. Completely all over the place there, and I blame that on really bad scenery. Pretty good wing view right there, though, to be honest. Even as we do veer off the runway. Nice, nice. So yeah, ZMP. You have to tell me what ZMP is again. Something over Canada, if I had to guess. All right. Well, you saw how off the localizer was. You saw how off the localizer was, and that's this thing put in the localizer settings for the wrong runway, which depart. It might have, to be honest. Might have. All right. What about some crosswind landings? What is? We could go 0-4. Headwind. That's a little bit of a crosswind. Nothing too great, to be honest, though. Minneapolis Center. Okay. Let's see here. Let's try a 0-4 right. Actually, let me just verify. Feet runway. Yeah, let's try a 0-4 right. Short final on 0-4 right. That'll give us a bit of a wrong button. Short final move aircraft. That'll give us a bit of a crosswind landing. Go for the dive method, it appears. Make sure approach mode goes on. Yeah. The downside is that on this, there's precisely 0 go around. There's precisely 0 go arounds right here. Well, there is a go around, but you have to do it immediately. You have to, like, barely. It's a tight turn. I mean, you could theoretically execute a missed approach right here, but not really that advised. Small plane to fog. Interesting. Why are we? Great. Let's, well, on the bright side, I blame that on not me, but all right. What's JFK looking like? K J sorry. Clear. What about K J F K? I know, right? On the bright side, that wasn't my fault. On the bright side, So the wind's 280 degrees 9 right now at JFK. Let's see here. Tailwind, crosswind. Let's take 22 right. Long final at JFK. Move aircraft. Let's see. Yeah, let's take JFK. Long final. Oh, I saw that. I saw that movie. Flight. Wasn't actually the biggest fan of that movie, but air traffic control thing. We are inverted. I repeat, we are inverted. Anyway, let's try JFK's 22 right. I don't think I've actually ever landed at JFK, to be honest. I don't think I've ever landed at JFK. Or, sorry, no, I have landed at it, but it's been a really, really long time. We gotta do a British Airways flight from JFK to Heathrow one of these days, or Heathrow to JFK. Alright. On the turning final now. DC-9. Yeah. I actually didn't. I've tried to look into that crash. I always forget the flight number. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, is it just me, or are the localizers like wildly off today? That looks wildly off to me. That looks. Not for crabbing that much, but that still looks like wildly off to me. That still looks insanely off. Aircraft issue, seam issues. So if it's nav data, yeah, this most recent ARIAC cycle was quite buggy for some reason. I remember someone had to put out something. They're the mice. They're the mice in the ceiling. Yeah. We'll see how Baltimore's localizer is. If we need to, we can switch to RNAV approaches, though kind of need to work on ILS approaches. RNAVs I'm fine with. Alright. What are the two appropriate crosswind landing techniques? Because I know about the crab one in, but isn't it like opposite rudder or rudder and then opposite aileron or something? We're landing 2-2 right. Yeah, we are. Alright, we might update the nav data real quickly then, because this looks off. We might have to update the nav data real quickly. It'll be annoying, but whatever.
500.
No, Pappy's a little annoying.
300.
On the bright side, the localizer doesn't appear to be that far off.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. Glide slope.
Or it's JFK they really want to.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
Shut up. That's kind of getting annoying.
20. 10.
Yeah, that wasn't the best, was it now? Yeah. Yeah, the threshold is that threw me off. The displaced threshold, that completely threw me off. All right. But yeah, look at how far off that localizer is telling you it is, though. I mean, we're on the center line right now. In fact, if anything, we're helping that out a little. We're on it. We're on the center line. So, right, let's try updating it the nav data then. Let's try this real quickly. Yeah, what's going on with this plane? Because this thing appears to be broken. This thing appears to be completely broken. Well, it might. It might. Can't even update that. Let me try it through another method. Let me see if I can't do it through the FMC. Don't think so. FS actions. Service vehicles, maybe? Nope. Alright, let's try. In that case, let's try T2 left. Which is not as big of a runway, but well, we can up the auto brake setting. I don't know. I hope I don't have to reinstall this plane. Move long final. Yeah, that most recent area cycle completely threw everything off. It, let's see here. Autopilot. Let's see here. Now this appears to be now this appears to be properly set up. This appears to be properly set up now.
2500.
Approach mode on, please. And let's try not to stall. Let's try not to stall. Like we did last time. Alright. Yeah, this localizer for T2 left appears to be reasonable. And it's not perfect, but it appears to be accurate, to be honest. Much more accurate than the one for T2, right? Alright, auto brake 3 because of the shorter runway. To be clear, I wouldn't ever land a 777 on this runway. Oh, I don't know what the runway lengths are. I can see them in meters, not in feet. And I work in feet, so. Take this over by hand. Now. Tracking the localizer is something that I need practice on as well, so you can go ahead and practice it. Try this crosswind landing technique. Are we retracking the? Are we gonna get back to the localizer ever so slightly? No, it's down a little. Doing not bad. Not doing that badly on this one. I take that back, and now we are. Now we are. Tracking the localizer, something we need practice on as well, as is becoming apparent. Getting a little high. If we were on VATSIM, this would be go around from about here out.
1,000.
If we were flying on VATSIM, we would be executing the missed approach. Nice. Give me 30 seconds. I'll pay more attention to chat. It is important to note that the readings that they give you are only the surface wind, so the wind could be variable. This is very much unstable.
200.
Pappies and ILS. They were a little high actually.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Yeah, that localizer might be a little off as well. Okay, that was hard. We floated that. We floated that landing. To be honest, I really have a hard time telling. To be honest, I have a really hard time telling. We absolutely floated that landing. Alright. Let's try that again. This time, short final. Try that again, short final this time. And this time we'll hand flat the entire way down.
500.
We'll hand flat the entire way down. Yeah, one of the things I'm going to begin to really look into is see if there's a way to tell Microsoft, look, we either need you guys to begin to do a better job when it comes to localizers, or you need to figure out a way to allow us to model our own localizer based on the airport scenery. Right. So, for example, Heathrow's localizer is a little off. Not by far, but I mean, it still is a little off.
Light slow.
Um,
Light slow.
it'd be nice though if any builds could model that
Light slow.
instead of having to rely off the sim data.
Light
So,
slow.
that's what I'm saying. Because then that helps that helps everyone out, and you can calibrate it correctly, and
Light slow.
you're not relying on one person, on one big billion-dollar corporation to do it for you. My controls. Getting a little off. Nose back down. Yeah, we are still. Actually, we're getting even farther off now. Trying to keep them wings level.
500.
But we are way too high. Correct for that. Correcting to the height is easier than correcting for position.
400.
So you can aim first thing a little bit better.
300. 200.
Yeah, those wings were not level there. Those wings were not level there. 17 hours with 2.5 or 2. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that wasn't very stable now, was it? Could have been a whole lot better. Landing distance 460 feet per minute. Yeah. The issue is that the wings. What happened is we landed on one of the wheels, and then we kind of like, and then the plane kind of tilted as I tried to adjust for it. So. No, I did not. What's this new announcement about Unicom? Let's see here. What's this new announcement about Unicom? New rules. Alright. Update as of today. Let's take a look at this. Wrong buttons. The term Unicom is no longer to be used to refer to 22.8. Interesting. Alright. Following the conclusion of the CTAF, discrete frequencies aren't. Discrete frequencies are now codified. So, I'll have to take a look at that. Code of regulations. And they are effective when? Effective now, I guess. Let's see here. VATSIM Unicom. Good regulations. Let's see here. What is this new thing? Downgrades. Here, where is it? So, does that mean like stuff like places like Heathrow? So does that mean like theoretically, Gatwick now will be operating on CTAF frequency? Because I know that UK was kind of against that until recently. In fact, they might still be against it. Or I guess, does that mean like the CTAF rule expands now to all airports? I guess is the better question. Because there are legitimate places where that would help, and a big example of that would be Heathrow, Heathrow and Gatwick. When you're on the ground at Heathrow and it's a busy morning, you can hear people on the ground at Gatwick, and it kind of gets annoying. You're kind of just looking for like a spot. Let's see here. But Otherwise, we'll find more. We'll find out more about it, and if we get complained about to a supervisor, then oh dear. They need to put that. They need to put that in like an overall notum. Right. They need to explain it. They need to explain it better. But they need to put it in like an overall actual notum. Right. And they also need to give people time to adapt. So they need to. But yeah, no, they need to explain it a bit more. Alright, let's get back to landing practice. Yoke 2. Let's see here. The wind set 280 degrees. 9. Let me get a Facebook and Discord announcement. Let me take a look here. I Discord them. Announcements. Okay. Alright. The definition of should has been strengthened. New definitions clarify the distinction between uncontrolled airspace and unstaffed airspace on VATSIM. Alright. The option to append new to a connection name has been removed. Maximum or minimum voice capability requirements have been introduced for both pilots and controllers, with exemptions for users with qualifying disabilities. Okay, following the conclusion of the CTAF trial, discrete frequencies are now codified. The term Unicom is no longer to be used to refer to 122.8. And that's straight off the VATSIM announcement. So, well, for right now, what I advise everyone to do, especially at places like Heathrow, pull up the CTAF frequency, transmit on that, but also transmit on Unicom. Right, so essentially, say everything twice, kind of. Essentially, say everything twice. Once on CTAF, once on Unicom. But yeah. All right. What's another good airport right now to fly to? What's Heathrow looking like? The wind. No wind at Heathrow. No wind at Heathrow. That's the question. That's the question. That's the question at hand. But I would assume so. Either way, it'll be. Right now, people would see when you get the handoff. It'll be handoff off over to advisory 122.8. Right now, anyway. Let's see here. What's another good airport to fly into right now with good crosswinds? What's the wind at Baltimore? Probably not horrendous. No, there is no wind right now. There's no wind here. So, LAX. The wind 080 degrees, 7 knots. Electric airport. What runway? No, nothing really there. In that case, what about San Francisco? Okay, SAN. No wind at San Fran. Yeah, I guess that's the best guess, but they need to explain it more without us having to read through the code of conduct. It's a little bit of a weird code for VPilot, for VPilot to give the CTAF. Yeah, well, I guess theoretically it gets it from a massive database, right? Theoretically, I guess. what's a good airport with some crosswinds? With some gusty crosswinds as well. What's Eddie looking like right now? Oh, here. Like conditions, got VFR for right now. The wind, crosswind, okay. Minimum runway length, 200 feet. Alright. Search. We could try Sydney. Yeah, actually, let's go to Sydney. Let's go Sydney. Crosswind, headwind. Right now for Sydney, the wind is 0303 is 20 knots. So we can try 34 left. Yeah, let's try Sydney. You have to tell me what that airport is again. Anyway, we'll try Sydney. Let's try Sydney. Go ahead and get approach mode on. Alright, we were just at Sydney a few days ago as well, about a week ago. In fact, it might have actually been a week ago. Well, the thing is that I want good visibility, though.
2500.
Oh, you're right. Dublin's a good one. We'll try Dublin after this. Yeah. We will try Dublin after we try Sydney. Alright. My controls. Need some practice on some good crosswinds. Very good. You are good. My controls. Try to stay on perfectly with the localizer. Just track both. We'll track both. Eyes currently are lasered on. Now we're beginning to get a little off. Eyes right now are lasered focused on the glide slope and the localizer. Try to add some rudder then, as we get off from it. Getting to pull up a little. Alright. Feeling a little low on the glide path, but in terms of this localizer, we have to really stay in it. Really try to focus now. Yeah, we're a little low. That's fine. short final now. We can begin to look at the runway. We're still a little off on this localizer. Glide slope wise, we are perfect. We're still a little off on this localizer.
500. 400.
This revat something to be going around.
Light slope.
We're way too
Light
low.
slope.
Let's try to get it back.
Too low. Terrain. Sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low.
Try to get
terrain.
back.
Too low. Terrain. 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 Too low. Terrain.
Shut up, we're fine.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Very, very fast.
Too low. Terrain.
Very, very fast. We never reduced to our final approach speed there, did we? Welcome to Sydney. Or sorry, welcome back to Sydney is a better explanation. Is a better thing to say. Welcome back to Sydney, Australia. We were just here not too long ago. We were literally just here not too long ago. Alright. What did that landing report look like? Deviation from centerline. Unsafe landing. Yeah, what I thought. What I thought. And then our maximum glide slope deviation was 2.0 dots above. Maximum localizer deviation. Interesting. We gotta get better at that. Yeah, that localizer, we had it for like the first few miles, but then we kind of lost it. And then in terms of our speed, we were a little fast. I mean, I felt that. Alright, let's set that up again. It's time for a short final.
Too low. Terrain. 2,500.
This time we'll set it up for a short final. Try to check the localizer on short final. Approach mode back on. Speed 140 knots. And then we'll try Dublin after this. Dublin should be interesting. Line controls. Speed now 140 knots. Take this over by hand now. My controls.
1,000.
Begin to add in a little bit of rudder. Let's try to track that glide slope a little bit better. Let's try to get back to that glide slope, please. Maintain this for a moment. Let's back up the bigot.
500.
Let's back up. release that pressure on the nose. A bit more rudder, please.
300. 200.
Oh dear.
100.
This rebat's going to be going around.
40. 30. 20. 10.
Okay, yeah, that was horrendous. That was horrendous. And looks like we popped the tire there. By the looks of it, we popped the tire there. No, we better tell Grumpy to dispatch the emergency crew real quickly then. Yeah, it looks like we might have completely done a tire there. Okay, FS actions. Ground maintenance. Let's see here. Tires. Service all. Take care of that tire pressure issue. That landing was so horrendous. We alright. Just within the limit somehow. Maximum rate of descent. Ouch. Deviation from center line, even worse than before. Speed at touchdown, 138. All right. Let me just send this message real quickly. Let me just send this message real quickly. Let's see here. Alright, sorry, I'm just sending this over to the Aeronaut Discord. Alright, while the tires get replaced. Because that previous landing was so bad it apparently popped a tire. Alright. Linus is already against it. Linus is already against it. Alright, let's see here. Short final. Let's try this again. Move aircraft. And get rid of the parking. Ditch the parking brake. We can ditch the parking brake.
2,500.
Try to get this going again. Alright. Try Sydney, and then after this we'll try Dublin. And we'll probably call it at Dublin, to be honest. Alright, one of the things I do notice is maybe I'm doing the rudder the wrong way. Bridge mode on. Maybe I'm doing the rudder the wrong way. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our controls. Alright, we'll let this get set up. Yeah, wants to go off. Here, what if we were to try it with rudder trim instead? What if you were to try rudder trim instead? My controls. Track this freaking localizer this time, you bigot. Track the localizer. Track that localizer. That's flashing just to go around.
400.
Oh, it was even worse than before. Nose back down, you bigot. Not gonna lie, we might have to go back to the C-172. Okay, this is unsafe.
30, 20, 10.
Ouch. $841 feet per minute. Ouch. Alright, what are the two appropriate crosswind techniques? I mean, you can crab it in. And there's one other one involving rudder and aileron. And I feel like it's that one that I'm trying to do, but I'm doing it incorrectly. Welcome back, Seb. We're currently at Sydney and failing to land. And might have just popped a tire for a second time. Alright, let's try this again. We have a pretty extreme crosswind here at Sydney. The wind is 030 degrees to 0 knots. Arriving on 34 left, so it's a bit of a crosswind. Sydney, Australia. And then we're gonna try Dublin after this, which Dublin should be fun. Dublin ought to be fun. Alright. Let's see here. Auto brake. Call it 2. You ready yet? Plane, are you ready yet? I think you are, but... Yep, yes you are. Alright. This time we're gonna be laser focused on the localizer.
1,000.
Just gotta move our way back over here first. Taking this over pretty far out. Hopefully trying to avoid it. Hopefully trying to avoid the crosswind too much. Or, sorry, hopefully trying to avoid doing it incorrectly too much. Seb, did you see the new information on the CTAF stuff? And I'm just finding out about it from retired BC 503. Yeah, yeah, well, it's crossing that we need help with. Headwind I'm fine with. Just try not to flare with headwind. Headwind I'm fine with. It's the crosswind that we need to work on, as we can clearly see. I mean, this is full rudder right here. If this were VATS, I'm going to be going around. So, I don't know what's going on anymore with the CTAF stuff. Yeah, but it's weird because a lot of airports don't have the CTAF stuff. And so it's like, for Heathrow, what frequency are we going to use now?
200.
Inspect down, you bigot.
Sync rate. Sink rate.
Try.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
This is a hop. You know what? If we were to get New Sky running, what would New Sky think of all these landings? Alright. Let's try Dublin now, because Dublin, we're gonna, now for Dublin, we're gonna auto land first. And then we'll call it a night. Dublin. Yeah, so right now the winds at Dublin are 0 degrees, 2-4, gust 3-9, with marginal visibility. We'll just try to land there, shall we? We will simply try to land at Dublin. We are going to try to get the plane on the ground at Dublin. Let's say whatever runway that is, 10, right? Long, and we'll go short final. Move aircraft to Dublin. Let's be interesting. Oh. Has the sim crashed? Has the sim crashed? Wow. I've never seen that happen. Wow. Well, in that case, we're going to end this off here tonight. Because I have stuff to do. And, yeah. No, the sim just completely crashed on us. Wow. It's been ages since the sim crashed like that. It's been absolutely ages. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for the night. I'm probably not going to work on anything else. I'm probably going to clean up a bit. Everything's a mess still. Tonight, or I guess tomorrow night, more around the world. To do more around the world tonight. Or sorry, yeah, tomorrow night. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Seb, thank you for helping me try and diagnose any issues. New headset is on its way. And the best I can figure right now is that there's some kind of issue with vPilot and USB audio. But anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been a blast. And I will see you all tomorrow night. So long.